Consider this simple fact. The water you hold in that pristine plastic bottle may have traveled thousands of miles, or it may have come from a municipal tap just down the road. We are led to believe that bottled water represents the ultimate in purity, a healthier and safer choice than what flows from our own faucets. This perception is carefully crafted, an image of untouched mountain springs and crystal-clear glaciers projected onto a simple plastic vessel. Yet when we look closer, this illusion begins to dissolve, revealing a far more complicated and troubling reality. The story of bottled water is not just a story of hydration. It is a story of marketing, hidden costs, and unforeseen consequences that affect us all. We purchase this product with an implicit trust in its safety. We pay a premium, sometimes thousands of times the cost of tap water, for the assurance that what we are drinking is clean. However, extensive testing has revealed a disquieting secret lurking within many of these bottles. Microscopic plastic particles, shed from the bottle and the cap, are now found in the majority of bottled water brands sold across the globe. These tiny fragments enter our bodies with every sip we take. The full long-term health implications of ingesting these microplastics are still being studied by scientists, but their widespread presence in a product we consume for our well-being is a profound and unsettling irony that we can no longer afford to ignore. The concern does not end with plastic. While the industry promotes an image of pristine sources, the reality is that a significant portion of bottled water is simply treated municipal water. It is filtered, sometimes enhanced with minerals, and then packaged for sale. Furthermore, independent tests have, at times, detected contaminants in certain bottled water brands, from industrial chemicals to bacteria. This is not to say that all bottled water is unsafe, but it does shatter the myth that it is inherently superior to well-regulated public water systems. The clear bottle, which seems to promise transparency and purity, can instead obscure the water's true origin and its journey to our hands. This gap between perception and reality is the industry's greatest success. We are sold an idea, a feeling of security and healthfulness. It is a powerful narrative, reinforced by billions of dollars in advertising, that depicts nature in its most unspoiled state. We see cascading waterfalls and snow-capped peaks, and we associate that imagery with the product. But this carefully constructed fantasy distracts us from asking the most fundamental questions. Where does this water truly come from? What was required to get it here? And what is left behind long after the bottle is empty? The answers to these questions are the dirty secret of the bottled water industry. The environmental cost of our convenience is staggering, and it is a debt that our planet is struggling to pay. Each day, humanity consumes over 1 billion plastic bottles, a vast number of which are for water. The production of these single-use containers is an energy-intensive process, relying heavily on fossil fuels and consuming vast quantities of water, often more than the bottle itself will ever hold. This journey from raw material to finished product leaves a significant carbon footprint before the bottle has even been filled. We expend precious resources to package and transport a resource that is often readily available in our homes. Once the last drop of water is gone, the bottle's story is far from over. It embarks on a second, much longer journey. We may toss it into a recycling bin with good intentions, but less than 10% of all plastic ever produced has been recycled. Most of these bottles end up in landfills, where they will sit for centuries, slowly breaking down. Or they find their way into our natural environment, becoming a permanent and toxic form of litter. They clog our rivers, wash up on our coastlines, and form great swirling gyres of waste in the middle of our oceans. Under sun and sea, plastic fragments into smaller and smaller pieces, creating the microplastics we now find everywhere. These tiny particles have reached every corner of our world, from the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks. They are ingested by plankton, then travel up the food chain, accumulating in fish, seabirds. The scale of this problem can feel overwhelming, but we must not let shock lead to paralysis. Instead, it must spur us to action. The solutions are within our grasp, and they begin with a simple, conscious choice. For those of us fortunate enough to have access to safe, clean tap water, the most powerful step is to turn away from single-use bottles. Invest in a durable, reusable water bottle. Fill it at home. Use a water filter if you're concerned about taste or quality. Filters create far less waste than a stream of disposable bottles. This habit, when adopted by millions, reclaims our drinking habits from corporate control. Next, demand greater transparency and stronger regulation. We have a right to know what's in our water and where it comes from. Advocate for clear, honest labeling specifying true source. Mountain Spring Municipal Supply. Push governments to enact stricter laws on water extraction. Regulations must protect local ecosystems and prioritize community water rights over corporate interests. Support environmental groups defending public water resources. Reinvest in and champion public water systems. Decades of underfunding led to decaying infrastructure and a decline in public trust. Support initiatives to modernize public water utilities to ensure access to safe, reliable, affordable drinking water. This is the most sustainable and equitable solution. A robust public water system makes most bottled water obsolete, reserving bottles for genuine emergencies. The choice is ours with every drink we take. We can continue down the path of convenience, ignoring hidden costs. Cost to our health, cost to our planet, cost to communities we may never meet. Or we can choose a different way. We can choose to be informed. We can choose to protect our shared resources. We can choose to see water not as a commodity, but as the lifeblood of our world. The next step is clear. Today, when you're thirsty, reach for a glass or a reusable bottle. That simple act is a vote for a healthier planet and a more just future for all. Your next drink truly matters.